June 27th, 2023, journal entry number 6. Here's some things you should know about me. And at this current age that I'm writing down this journal entry, the next few statements are positively true. Now, whether things change or subtract or add on throughout my years up until my death, then so be it. But yeah, I have 4 favorite places to be, like places to go to that I've been. Montauk, Dorney Park, and Wildwater Kingdom, Gilgo Beach, and Times Square. Each one for their own reasons, of course, but just in case you find that I'm repeating places in my stories, that's because these places mean a lot to me, and a lot of stories have taken place at these locations. So, reading back on what I've wrote, I've briefly gone into a Gilgo story, and I've shared a Montauk one as well. So here's a Dorney Park story. My family used to go to Dorney Park as our one family vacation, one summer weekend each year. It's what we could afford, and so that's what we did. And for years, it brought such joy and laughter and so many memories. The Dorney Park, one Dorney trip, my mom, dad, younger brother by 2 years, Beverly, Redford, and Michael, respectively, we picked up our friends Conrad and William, Rad and Will, to drive over to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Mike and I met Rad and Will at the summer camp we all used to go to way back when. Our trip was a Saturday into Sunday. There's a Marriott right across the street from the park that we would always get a good deal on. So us boys would share one room and our parents had their own. Check-in was smooth. We dropped our bags off at our second floor rooms, bought our discounted tickets at the front desk, and grabbed some free apples from the fruit bowl by the Continental Breakfast. Bev and Red were going over something on their phones, and Brad, Mike, Will, and I were just goofing off as we ate, taking in our fellow hotel guests while watching the news in the small lobby. I love to people watch. At like 9:45 a.m., we 6 crossed the highway to wait up on the gate line of the park. We were on the line for a short amount of time and noticed that one of the families staying at the Marriott also was a few families in back of us. They were named the Joneses. Why? I have no idea. It's just what Will declared. So, how we do Dorney as a group. Normally, us kids, quote unquote, go off and ride the dry rides till like 11:30 a.m. while Bev and Red go see the shows and stroll around. We then meet up for lunch, and then we do the wet rides until like 5 p.m. because we then go back to the hotel to change and head over to the hibachi place down the block for a 6 p.m. reservation. Back to the hotel after food, we 4 kids go back to the park to do the dry rides at night and then goof around with the hotel's TV. Then, Sunday involves primarily just the wet rides in the water park, lunch, and then we head back out to Long Island. Rad, Mike, Will, and I rode all the coasters and did some of the other rides in the dry park. Oh, side note, my equilibrium is garbage, and so I can only do a few coasters at a time and can never go on anything that spins in a circle or the pirate ship. It goes like this. Ever again. Okay, moving on. We kept seeing the Joneses that Saturday morning before every ride we went on. Seriously, like if we were going on Talon, they were getting off Talon. If we were getting on Hydra, they were getting off Hydra. If we were getting on Thunderhawk, they were getting off Thunderhawk, etc., etc. It was hilarious because every time we saw them, we would freak out as if we were seeing a celebrity, and everyone just stared at us like we were nuts. Even the Joneses stared at us at one point. It was hilarious. We ate lunch at that 1950s style cafe Dorney has with the cool cars out front. Then we 4 went on the wet rides. Sound like Scooby-Doo. Then we 4 kids went on the wet rides in the water park. There's the enunciation. As Bev and Red lay out by the smaller wave pool. Lo and behold, the tables were turned. Every slide or wet ride we 4 got off of, the Joneses were getting on. It was the funniest thing. Like, our group and theirs just kept unintentionally following one another, and it was great. We 4 got on a longer line to go on this slide thing with tubes you sit in. A conversation started about the newest superhero movie that recently came out, naturally, and all of a sudden I heard these 2 girls behind me talking about the little tattoos I had on my back. Hey, I laughed as I turned around quick, scaring them. I hear you like my ink. The girls were in shock, but started laughing right along with me. They were pretty cool. Their names were Nicole and Jackie. Turns out that Nicole actually worked at the park, and so she started to tell us all the trade secrets, and I felt so privileged. The rest of our water park experience involved adding Nicole and Jackie to the group as we kept seeing the Joneses. We six ran across the lily pads numerous times, by far the greatest thing in the entire park, and they took them out years later for a new dumb slide, and I'm still devastated. But I digress. Nicole and I exchanged numbers as we said our goodbyes. Rad, Mike, Will, and I met up with Bev and Red. We changed at the hotel and were over at the hibachi place by 6 p.m. sharp. I know it seems like I'm jumping really quick here, but I really don't want to put in, filler words to tell this story. Like, do you really need to know how hot of a day it was, or that it was intermittently cloudy, or that Dorney is actually on a hill, so you got to work to get from one side of the park to the other, etc. Also, I'm kind of in a mood today, a little bit, and I'm sorry that I'm not my usual rambunctious and obnoxious self at the moment. Just like, life stuff. Figured retelling a historic and random moment from my past adventures would lift my spirits, and it is helping a little. So yes, thank you, journal. Back on track. We order our drinks, order our foods. And the moment that our sushi gets served to us, guess who effing sits at the table next to us? The Joneses. Bruh, I was dying. Of course his family recognized us, but probably as those four crazy kids who kept laughing at them for no actual reason, aside from the fact that we were mildly obsessed with them because we saw them the entire day. Dinner was great, as usual. I love hibachi, and that place is awesome. They have this robot piano that plays by itself, and I love it. They also have this intense mural painted in the lobby of some battle in ancient Japan with dragons and such. Once dessert came out, I decided it necessary to put my lip balm on. I had a slight obsession to always keep it in my pocket back in the day, and this particular one was flavored mango. So I take it out of my pocket to what seemed like slow motion, and I drop it on the floor while sighing, "No, mango." Yeah. Choking up. Will, Rad, and Mike were dying of laughter as the entire rest of the restaurant stared at us, wondering what the hell we were all laughing about. Mango lip balm on the floor causing complete hysteria? Who would have thought? We later get back to the hotel, leave Bev and Red to go to Dorney and do the dry rides all over again. Talon in the dark? Terrifying. That's my favorite coaster, by the way. And I've been to a ton of amusement parks, and that coaster is by far my favorite. So elegantly beautiful, if a roller coaster could be as such. Yeah. We didn't see the Joneses back at the park again that night, just for your information. That night, we all took turns showering after the park. Mike and I were sharing a bed, and Rad and Will shared the other. At like 5:30 in the morning, the fire alarms were going off, and we had to leave the rooms and go outside, obviously. But before we left, I grabbed my necklace, to put on in the hallway, all because of this one Dolly Parton interview I'll always remember of her saying that she always keeps her wig right on the nightstand, so in case of an emergency, she'll always look good. I love that woman, such a legend. We meet our parents outside of the main entrance. The Joneses showed up too, causing us all to smile, knowing that they were all right. And we then watched the sunrise over Dorney Park as the firefighters found the faulty wiring in the kitchen, or whatever they said. When we were allowed back in, Rad, Will, and Mike went straight back to bed for a few more hours. I couldn't fall back asleep, so Bev and Red tried teaching me how to play rummy or gin rummy, some card game that I clearly didn't understand enough to even remember what the hell game we played, with their plastic deck that Dorney sold in the gift shop. It's actually such a convenient deck, too, might I add. Water and spill proof, and if they're ever dirty, you just gotta wipe them down. So simple. Mike, Will, and Rad got up at 9 a.m. We six went down to the lobby for the continental breakfast, had a blast playing with the pancake machine. I had more Irish cream in my coffee than coffee, and we six went back to the park. It was more of a laid-back go this time around. Mike, Rad, Will, and I went on all the coasters, saw one of the kiddie shows with our parents, and we got these amazing pierogies for lunch that were next to the awesome lemonade stand, kind of sort of near the Dominator drop ride. So good. My brother won a giant sombrero from a ring toss game. We hit the water park briefly, and Will won a little stuffed dog before we packed up at the hotel and headed home. I don't know, it's just, you know how I was explaining before how safe I felt with Nick that first encounter? And how safe I generally feel, when I'm with him? That's how I feel in Montauk. That's how I feel in Gilgo and Dorney with my family. Safe. Times Square is a different story. I never feel safe in Manhattan. I just love Times Square because it's the crossroads of the world. You can sit in a chair for 3 minutes tops and hear at least 10 different languages spoken around you. It's just so encompassing of everyone from everywhere, and I love that whole one world narrative. So yeah, Dorney Park. Always a fun family-filled time with new and interesting people, barely any wait time on the lines, and constant inside jokes. Cough. The Joneses. Cough. Haikus. 126. Teeth are so painful. I'm on 2 different toothpastes. Gods, this is awful. 127. All things pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice pizza? Hell no. Don't touch that poop, junk. 128. A Lego bow tie. Totally great in theory. I just stabbed my neck. 129. Old stuffed tiger toy. Where the hell did you go, friend? I miss you, big cat. 130. Cerulean skin. Silver hair and kick butt clothes. Stepbrothers in love? 131. Yo, shut the F up. Keep your effing war mouth closed. You're a dumb butt, which... 132. Can a raccoon sing? Because they sure can rock it. Baby trees can dance. 133. You shut your gore mouth. Mustard or ketchup debate. No one likes you, cult. 134. Fandoms are painful. Death and joy all mixed in one. What is happening? 135. She broke up with me. Mom, I feel like I'm dying. She wants me to change? 136. Oh my gods. Stop it. I'll get to it when I do. Stop with the nagging. 137. A milk jug workout. The world's most efficient man. Milk splattered body. 138. Wisdom teeth blabber. Why can't you say you love me? He gave me a fork. 139. Company of boss. 3 friends try to make money. Mishap can ensue. 140. First kissed in basement. Darkened party confusion. Girl is really boy. 141. A little tipsy. On top of the bar. Crying. It's just really hard. 142. 3 boys in their capes. Halloween superheroes. Candy saved for all. 143. RV versus dorm. 3-friended shenanigans. Where did Kenny go? 144. A prize tomato. Mishapped cars in a derby. Goodbye, book report. 145. Ninjas and pirates. The battles of all battles. Cowboys and zombies. 146. Nebulas in space. Stars are born and exploding spaceships and cruisers. 147. Garlic bread is great. I could eat it all the time. Wait, bread makes you fat? 148. Base battle punching. Am I just wet from the rain? I just peed my pants. 149. Yo, shut the F up. Rome totally jacked Greek gods. No one likes you, Mike. 150. Sea glass is garbage. Literally, it is trash. Pretty awesome trash.